Hello and welcome to Ask AfroDaddy as I throw phones around. It's the podcast where we answer your questions about life, the universe, and parenting. Hello, my name is AfroDaddy, and I'm joined
by Julie.
By Julie, who got very distracted.
I did, by the hooting outside.
By the hooting in the background. We're not sure if you can hear that, but someone is trying to get someone else's attention.
Why at this time of night? Who is trying to get attention from someone else at this time of night? Go to bed, people.
Yeah, and if the person doesn't hear the first hoot, they're not going to hear the second or third one.
It's called WhatsApp.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What year are we in?
I don't know. I don't get it.
How can we be podcasting live on Facebook right now while someone doesn't have the technology to send an SMS?
I know. It's beyond annoying.
Oh, my word. Okay, well, anyway, tell the good people what we do on the podcast while I get other stuff.
What do we do on the podcast? Well, tonight's the late version of Ask AfroDaddy.
Oh, my word. Tell them why.
Kids do not want to sleep tonight.
One kid in
real
particular.
Life parenting.
Yeah.
Sleep is for the dead.
Yeah. It's
Eli Jack mentor.
Our least favorite kid who caused trouble again.
Oh my goodness. I did not say that.
And this is the thing. I think right now, I'm allowed to say he's our least favorite kid because he has caused trouble the whole day.
Shame, he's had a bad day.
He's had a bad day. He's been in a bad mood the whole day.
But we all have days like that.
Yeah, but he's more annoying when he does. But anyway, yeah, so we're going to answer your questions about...
this is our express Ask AfroDaddy, the late night edition.
Yeah, the late version. What I would like to know is, what has been your positive thing for the week? The one good thing that's happened this week?
So I've done a lot of traveling the last 2 weeks, but this week included. Positive thing is coming home. Coming home is just always good. No, it is always good. I mean, I'll brush over the fact that as soon as I get home, the kids...
Go back into crazy mode.
No, they ransack my bag to see what I got them.
Well, that's just because you walk into the house and go, I've got presents for everyone! Which is a lie, by the way.
I know.
Because you don't have presents for everyone.
Yeah, I know.
There's one particular person who doesn't
get...
get...
a present?
I think I would like to have a present, yeah. Especially since I'm the one who did all the hard work while you were gone.
I'll get you an additional Paw Patrol character for next time. How about that?
That would be nice. Or a new microphone.
Oh my goodness. You've got enough technology. If people can see what we're sitting in now, there are enough lights buzzing and knobs turning.
This is, why?
Mics hovering from the ceiling.
The problem is I'm making a MacGyver for everything, so I have 3 times the amount of equipment I actually need because I'm using cheap stuff. Anyway, I am very grateful for the stuff that I have.
What was your highlight for the week?
My highlight for the week would also be you going away.
Thanks.
Not because you went away, but because obviously there's a lot of anxiety when you have 2 young kids who are very dependent on both parents.
Yes.
So when one parent goes away, there's a bit of anxiety of can I do this by myself? And I with all the bravado in the world, said, yeah, go. It's going to be great for you. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's all good. Of course, on the inside, I'm like crapping myself. And the one thing I was really worried about was Eli sleeping.
Yeah.
Because he tends not to.
Sleep is optional for him at night.
Yeah, especially when you're not around. But I got him to sleep on all 3 nights very well, very easily, and he slept right through.
I don't know how you did that.
By himself, without boo-boos.
Can I just say that you have claimed this, but I have not yet witnessed it. When I came back, that was not the case. So, I mean, it's kind of hearsay at this time.
So you're calling me untrustworthy, an untrustworthy narrator.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I
thought you were an amazing dad.
Although, wait a second. I did send you photos of him asleep.
On the couch.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I got him to sleep. I got him to sleep on the couch. It's like... It's hard. You only got to sleep at 9:30 with all of your mommy skills. But
well, no, not all of my mommy skills. I only have half my arsenal available to me.
Oh no, that's sad.
# weaning. It is sad. It's very sad.
So I wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about this, but this is a podcast where we're supposed to help parents.
Yes.
So you're currently going through the process of weaning, and I'm not sure if it's a bit raw right now.
Yeah, it is kind of raw.
But can you explain why it's raw? So maybe not your exact feelings, but what is making it as difficult, as unexpectedly difficult as it is?
I mean, it kind of feels a bit like a breakup. I mean, I've been nursing our youngest son for 2 years and 8 months. Can Mama get a high five?
Yeah, that's a good job.
Yeah, that's a pretty good innings.
Super lactation over there.
Super cow. And you know, for 99% of that time, it's been really good. Like Eli and I have had a really good nursing relationship.
Yeah, there's a lot of like closeness and
I love.
I feel like
cuddling with
intimacy is the wrong word, but there's a real connection that was made
absolutely.
of all that time.
Absolutely, and it's been very special, and it's something that only the two of us can experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it kind of happened sort of due to a bit of necessity, doing a lot of traveling now, and needing him to be less. Not that less dependent on me, that's not the word, but less upset when I'm gone.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of felt like the right time to slowly start doing it. And the kid had also injured me somewhat, so I'm not going to go into too much detail.
And
about
also
that.
we want him to move into his own bed hopefully, and share him with his brother. So
big things are coming for him. It's the right time. I mean, he's definitely grown up a lot, right?
Yeah, totally. So the last 3 months have seen quite a big mental growth spurt from him. So
precious boy.
But shame.
So it's the right time. It's the right time, but it's bittersweet.
I do something really gross. I have to blow my nose.
Oh my gosh, can you just not do that and not drop my cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can still hear that. We can still hear that loud and clear.
I tried. Okay, I tried.
What happens when you get fancy new technology?
Everything's so sensitive. Okay, so you ready for your first question?
I'm ready for the first question, and then I've got two really good would you rather's, and I can't decide which one to ask you.
You do this every week.
I know. Every week I'm like, I need systematically through the list.
Okay, so here we go. First question.
Okay.
Not about parenting.
Okay.
About ride sharing.
Ride sharing.
Yeah. How can I gracefully decline a ride from a friend? So let's say you get to a place and you've Ubered there. You go going for dinner with friends and you want to Uber home, and your friend offers you a ride, but you just want to get home. You don't want to have the conversation, or what often happens to me, I'll be taking a train home from work.
Yeah.
And obviously, a whole bunch of us leave at the same time.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends and colleagues,
because they're kind people.
Say, hey, jump in the car with me. We're going in vaguely the same direction.
Yeah.
But I really like that walk. And I really like the train time because it's like kind of my alone time, my like de-gorsing time. What is the polite way to tell someone, no thanks? You're being nice, but I'd rather walk than be in a car with you.
I mean, I don't know if I feel like I've ever had that situation. I'm like, I'll get the free ride, thank you very much, and I'll happily chat with you along the way. But
yeah, because you are a chatter.
That I am, my love. So are you, kind of.
Yeah, but I mean, I get times when like I just want to not be with a particular person.
Yeah. Okay. Well, unless you've got something, totally offensive, or you find something totally offensive about that person, I think you just be honest. You just say, hey, oh, thanks so much. You know what? I actually just feel like I need to clear my head and have the walk to the train. And that's what I would say.
So what if it's because that guy's car is really smelly?
I would still say I just need to clear my head and go for the walk. Like, don't hurt the guy. He doesn't even know that. It's honesty to a point. Okay,
but then, like, let's say with that dinner conversation, right? You're both going home at the same time. You're friends. And you're saying, I'd rather get an Uber. I'd rather spend money on an Uber than get into your car.
Yeah, I don't know if you can get out of that one. So I think you just stick like some toilet paper napkin rolled up into your nostrils and
open all the windows and say, I just love the fresh air.
Exactly. And just pray it's a short commute.
Okay, so actually the next question is kind of in the same realm.
Okay.
But it's even more awkward.
Oh, no, I don't think awkward ones.
Yeah, this one's about mother-in-laws.
Oh, okay.
How do I tell my husband, or how do I or my husband tell my mother-in-law she smells?
Oh, that's bad. I have no clue.
Oh.
I have no clue.
I mean, you don't have this problem, right?
No, I obviously don't have this problem. I actually don't know. It's kind of one of those things I don't think you can. I don't know. I mean, I know everyone says, just be honest and kind. I mean, look, okay, so there's the sneaky approach, which is like every birthday, Mother's Day, Christmas, you give her
new fragrances and bath salts. And
a trip to the spa, like a deep cleanse kind of vibe. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm sure she knows about it already and is doing everything about it. It might be one of the things you have to put up with. What do you think? It's so awkward.
It's so awkward. I wouldn't even be able to tell my own mother that she smells.
No.
So, also it depends what the smell is. If it's like urine, it's like old, you know what I'm saying? Old.
This is a nasty question.
Yeah,
I just think.
But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think if it's your mother-in-law,
stick fix under your nose.
Yeah, if it's a mother-in-law, you just got to deal with it. You just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because there's actually no way.
No.
So.
I don't know. I actually.
Because even if you take the high road and say, we know that everyone else is thinking this, we're trying to protect you by telling you this. Even if you say that, her feelings will still get hurt.
Yeah.
And you'll always be the daughter-in-law who told her mother-in-law
it absolutely cannot
that
be
she smelled.
Yeah, you've got to tell. So if it was like my mother-in-law, it obviously isn't. I would make you tell her.
You would make me tell my mom.
No, well, I wouldn't be the one to tell her. If we agreed, she had to know. Like, say for example, like she was just emitting this horrific odor. I don't know for what.
Would you be able to tell your mom that?
No.
If let's say it was the other way around. Let's say your mom was the mom who was emitting the terrible odor, and I was like, Julie, we have to tell her, and you agreed we have to tell her, and I'm like, right, here's the phone.
No, I wouldn't do it with the phone. I wouldn't. I would try and bring it up, and I mean, like, if I thought it was really going to be damaging to her self-esteem, and everyone else was talking behind her back, then I think because I love her so much, I'd rather tell her directly. But I would sit her down. And I don't know, I would try and...
I mean, you could do the managerial approach, right? Which is whenever you give a criticism, always start with 2 positives and then give the critique then give the negative feedback. So firstly, your hair looks great.
Yeah.
Secondly, that stew you made the other night, fantastic. Last point... This is just a small thing compared to the other two. The other 2 things are really most important, but this is just a small thing.
You stink, a poo-poo.
You kind of stink.
Yeah. I mean, like, have you ever thought about changing your deodorant?
Yeah. What is your hygiene regime?
Yeah. How long do you shower for? I mean, exactly.
Okay. Also, the thing is, BO is particularly embarrassing.
Yeah.
But what would you tell her if it's... Like if it's bad breath, it's just the thing is as she walks into the house, offer her breath mint or chewing gum.
It's
just
hard.
every day, just all the time. Here we go, chewing gum.
Oh man, this is awkward. Sorry for the person who poses this question. I don't think we were.
No,
I don't think we were very helpful.
I think the final thing is you gotta grin and bear it, man.
Just say. We sympathize, we empathize.
Sorry. No, we don't sympathize.
No, we empathize.
We empathize because we don't have smelly moms. Okay, your would you rather?
Okay.
Hit me with it.
Oh, which one? Okay, I want to go... okay, do you feel like a superpower one or a psychological conundrum?
Hit me with the psychological conundrum.
Okay. Here we go. Are you ready?
I gotta blow my nose.
Oh my gosh, Terrence, I'm like about to give you a really...
Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to mute the mic for 2 seconds.
For 2 seconds, go.
And we're back.
We're back. Okay, are you ready?
Right.
Would you rather...
This is the psychological conundrum. Right.
Would you rather go to prison?
No.
Wait.
Which prison?
Shut up.
Maximum security.
Okay. For 4 years, for a crime you didn't commit.
Right.
Okay. Or... get away with committing a really heinous crime, but worry for the rest of your life that you're going to get caught out.
What is the heinous crime?
I don't know.
Like leaving the milk out of the fridge or something? Or?
No, like obviously, like I don't know. Maybe you accidentally. Okay, let's put like you accidentally knocked someone with your car and they died.
Okay.
That's just an example.
And then I ran. I was a hit and run.
It was a hit and run. Okay. So you don't know about what evidence was left behind at the scene. You don't know if there's ever a camera. Like you never know if they're and it was okay. Let's just say like you hit, like okay, just in case someone's listening, and I'm not gonna mention names of people you could possibly have a hit on. Next minute, like the police got our door.
Let's not say it. Yeah.
So say it's a prominent figure in society.
Right.
Okay.
And
they're walking across the road one night.
I just knocked them over because this very prominent figure has no bodyguards and happens to be walking in the middle of the night.
Yes.
You
knocked them.
And I knocked them over.
Okay, you realize they died.
And I'm like,
you're out of there.
I'm heading out. I'm making my way.
So you have no clue what evidence they have. It's in the news. It's like the unsolved mystery: who killed person X? You know you did it. Okay?
Right.
For the rest of your life, you're going to be like watching your back.
4 years.
Or you go to prison for 4 years for crime you didn't commit, and when you're out, you can write a book about it.
Wait, so after 4 years, so they go, oh my word, this guy...
Ooh, excuse me.
When I get out, people are like, oh, by the way, this guy actually didn't commit this crime, and I'm freed because they discovered I didn't commit the crime?
Yeah, you could have that. Yeah, you could have, you're out. But basically, whatever it is, you could be acquitted, you could be, justice... You could, as I said, you could write a book about it. I think you went for 4 years.
I feel like this is super easy.
Really?
Yeah, I would kill the guy and live with that for the rest of my life. Because
your conscience doesn't prick on very many.
No, do you know what the thing is? I think we're able to justify things very easily if we. It's a survival technique. We all have training in learning. In our brains will defend itself by creating justifications. Like I'd work out ways to go, actually, the world is better off with that guy dead. Or,
oh my gosh, okay.
So I think I would not have that much of a psychological strain. Because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking like it's going to eat away at you for the entire life and you'd never know when you're going to get caught.
So I know it would eat away at me my entire life. However, knowing the criminal justice system in South Africa, I know that I would be messed up after 4 years in prison.
That's what I'm saying.
So I would rather be, I don't know though, like, this is like how people end up killing themselves.
Weak-willed people.
Or people with conscience. I would be, wouldn't you be anxious for the rest of your life? I would be so depressed.
I think I would be fine. I think I'd be totally. It sounds terrible.
It does sound terrible.
Am I a sociopath?
I don't know, but I'm judging you right now, and I'm shifting. Why don't you shift my chair further away from you?
Because you never know what I'm capable of.
Oh my gosh!
Hello, Julie.
Prominent people don't walk the streets at night.
Terrence might be driving. Also, what is a prominent person?
I don't know.
It's like, there's that YouTuber.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I would. What would you do?
I would choose the same one as you, even though there's a probability that I would end up knocking myself. I really cannot sit in this position. I would probably end up I don't know, in a mental institute. There's a high probability, but I could maybe manage it with therapy, whereas I know I would be messed up. And I couldn't do 4 years in prison.
Yeah, no, 4 years in prison. In this,
goodness.
If you were like prison in Sweden, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I could do that.
Yeah.
Because also...
And women's prisons are rough, eh?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Do you remember we had that girl that woman that was in our,
yes.
in our home group?
Yes.
And she was a social worker at one of the women's prisons, and she told us some really horrific stories.
Yeah, no, it's... and also, when you do get out, other than the psychological stuff, I mean, you're potentially in a gang... The chances of you getting work again
you have a criminal record.
You have a criminal record, so you're not going to get any kind of decent job. Really, it's not
bad.
It's not good. It's not good. Okay, should we do? Okay, here's a question about.
I have another great one, but you can
keep it for next week, time, because you always forget.
I do. I forgot the one from last week.
Yeah, because you had 2 last week as well.
I know.
Yeah, you should write these down.
I should. There are too many good ones.
Then write them all down, and then you just have a bank of them. And then one episode it'll be just a Would You Rather episode.
That would be great.
Yeah. In fact, that's a really cool podcast.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Okay, anyway, let's move on. Bedtimes and allowances for a 14-year-old. Is it old-fashioned and unusual to have a bedtime and an allowance for a 14-year-old?
We have 4 and 2-year-olds. I feel like we're vastly underqualified to be able to comment on this.
But there was a point when you were a 14-year-old. Did you have a bedtime at 14? We have a neighbor who's 14 years old.
Yeah, he has bedtime.
What's his bedtime?
I think it's like 9:30.
That's early.
So, no, I was a night reader and a night studier. And I think I did pretty well in school, I suppose. And so I think my parents knew that they could kind of trust me to manage my own sleep pattern. But my mom...
Because you were one of those nerds that everyone could trust.
Yeah, I was a trusting nerd. That is true. I'll claim it proudly now. But
like you weren't a real teenager.
I was such a real teenager, Terrence. I watched Dawson's Creek like everyone else.
That is the most sad thing. That is the most sad thing that you could possibly say. You never did anything naughty. You never did anything rebellious.
But if I had a boat on the river, I would be rowing to my...
The only rebellious
friend,
thing you did was
Dawson.
to use all your cell phone... or it was to run up your cell phone bill.
Oh, I used to run up the cell phone bill frequently.
Which is just you chatting to your friends.
I know. It was really bad.
That's the most rebellious thing you've ever did.
I used to like... When the post used to come, I used to be so anxious. I used to see the bill come from Cell C. And I'd be like, praying, because I had no clue like how to check it. I don't know if you could check it at that time beforehand. And I was just like, how bad is it? Because also I get like 103 minutes, but I'd always go over the 103 minutes. And then my dad used to sit there with the highlighter,
working out how much.
And if I didn't admit to who they were, he would just phone them. And then whichever friend it was, he would be like, ask who it was, because I'd say it wasn't me. Oh, that was the landline. Sorry, it was the landline.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, it was the landline.
Because you would spend like an hour and a half to 2 hours on the landline.
On the phone.
As a teenager, what are you possibly talking about that much every day?
Life.
There's nothing to talk about.
School projects as well. School projects.
Did you spend your telephone time talking? Okay. I knew you were a nerd, but the fact that you spent time on the phone
checking, hey, what was homework for tonight? Okay, was that helping?
Talking about school projects. Oh my goodness,
the
Judy.
internet was not that much of a big thing at that time.
I don't think I ever called a school friend to talk about a school project ever.
Yeah, how did that work out for you?
I was awesome. I had a great high school life.
Well, so did I. I just went about it a bit differently. Anyway, back to
you went about it the way a 50-year-old woman would go about high school.
No.
Get it together with all your knitting friends.
Oh my gosh. I did not.
Okay, sorry.
I am wearing a rabbit jumper now.
I'm drinking rooibos.
It's not made out of rabbit fur. It's just got a rabbit on it.
It would be cool if it was rabbit. Anyway.
No, it would not be. That's called animal cruelty.
I think if there was ever a time when a child needs boundaries and discipline, it's when they become teenagers.
That's great. How did that work out for you? Did you have a bedtime?
Not really.
Do you wish you had one?
When I was 14, I did. I had to be in bed by 10.
Did you?
Yeah. It only stopped when I was like about 16.
Yeah, I thought like, my parents would get concerned. Like if I was lying in bed reading, then they wouldn't be. They'd be like, "Cool," but like I don't think I was just allowed to watch TV.
No. As long as I was in bed, I could also read as much as I liked because we were reading family, so reading was important.
Except the fact that I would read
till about 2:00 in the morning.
Hours.
Yeah,
hours.
Exactly. But you know what? That's fine. Like I'm actually okay with that.
I so would love to do that now.
Yeah, you can't even keep your eyes through half an episode of a show.
No, it's really bad.
But it would be great to just like have like a reading weekend again. But yeah, no, I think having set boundaries during a time when you're trying to push boundaries, when you're trying to figure out acceptable forms of behavior, is important.
Like, it makes you feel safe.
It makes you feel safe, but also it gives you something to push back against.
Yeah,
it's like. Someone wants the example. It's like when you're pushing against a door and you think it's locked, so you push really, really hard, and it's fine if it is locked because then you can push as hard as you like, and maybe you'll break through. But if it's not locked and you push, you'll fall right through, and that's when you get really hurt. Hey,
that's a very good one. Did you make that up?
I literally just made it up now.
Ah.
But I said someone else told me to add weight to it because I know you'd be like, shut up, Terrence. That doesn't make any sense. But it is.
No, but that is a pretty good one.
Yeah,
like that resistance helps you feel safe. Like you know your limitations.
Yeah, and you know that you. But also, again, it gives you something to push against.
Yeah, teenagers is just weird.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think all kids need a point where they have to like rally and revolt against their parents, and no, it's true. But if you set the point of revolution way back, then it's like, ooh, they're rallying against the 9:30 curfew by reading till 10. Like, oh no. But if you
What will happen?
If you're like, just don't kill someone, then there's way too much stuff up to that point that's dangerous.
Yeah, and like, you know, I mean, we had a few friends at school, I know you did too, who had the cool parents. No, I'm saying, you know, who had the like super cool parents who were like, oh,
do what you like.
Best friends, my mother. And like, actually, kind of, I think most of us felt kind of sorry for those kids. Like, we thought their parents were cool.
No, we thought their parents were super rad, and they let us have parties there, and we did stuff, at their houses.
I don't know. There was something like that just felt off, and about that whole situation. And like in hindsight, you know, you could see the ramification of that.
No, look,
it
was weird. I always found it really weird, but it was weird in like, oh, this is something I can exploit to get my way. But I think to teach your kids about boundaries, it's important to have them, but also to know when to break them as well. Like, I don't think there should be anything that's like so set in stone that it cannot be removed ever.
Yeah, or when to give it wiggle room.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. When to give it a bit of, when to know that, you know, there's a, like, I'd love our boys to know when they get to 14 that if they have like a 10 p.m. curfew or 9:30 curfew, they can come talk to us and go, hey, this thing is happening that I'd really like to go to. Here's why it's important. Absolutely. I don't have to go, oh, Dad will never listen to me.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah?
Lines of communication open.
Yes. Also, I'd like to hear them try and argue their way down, so that we could have like a, you know, we could do like a Dragon's Den kind of vibe, where we sit there in comfy chairs.
Just like, your ideas, son. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's just get them like, you know, to the double digits.
Yeah, let's see if we can keep them alive that long. Okay, last question. Okay, this I've had to deal with this week. How do you politely tell someone that a claim they shared on social media is false?
That's a good one.
So often
you not just copy and paste the true link?
So often this happens with, I think, a lot of older people.
Send them to Snopes.
Yeah, because I think younger people like myself, especially who've kind of been in the world of social media a lot, you have like a natural understanding of the language of social media, so you can immediately pick out, like, your hair is kind of, you know, your senses go, wait a second, that doesn't feel right.
People post some crazy stuff.
Yeah, I think people post stuff without even reading it.
Absolutely, headlines and like an emotive image that's often photoshopped or sourced from somewhere else.
And it's all so one of the things that is like the number one test as to whether or not you might have done this is, did you share something because it was saying something that you already believed? So if you're someone who, as is the case as what I had to deal with this week on social media, if you believe that there's actual white genocide going on, and you start to only share articles that say this white genocide's happening, this is what's happening to the farmers, XXX, without actually reading the articles, you've probably shared stuff that's false.
Absolutely.
That does. And the thing is, we just know, like, share stuff from reliable sources. It's a natural.
Just spend 2 seconds on the Google ahead of time. Just like check it. You know.
Just use your critical thought. But also, again, people want to share, and this is again an older person thing, because for older people, things that were published were legitimate.
Yeah.
Because the only things that could be published were from legitimate publications. But now anything is possible.
Yeah.
So how do you tell someone? Like, let's say...
I gave you an example. Honestly, if you posted a crappy, like, sensationalist article, I would post the correct one underneath and say, I don't know, I'd say it really nicely, but I'd be like, that's interesting, but here's the actual story.
Can I tell you what I did this week?
What did you do?
I'm on at least I was on a Facebook group for dads, an international Facebook group of, like, thousands of dads. It's a lot of really good stuff. A lot of dads asking for help, for questions, for support. Like a really good place. I saw a post pop up from a dad saying, "Guys, I need help with deciding where to immigrate to. It's really hectic here for my family. white genocide is really happening in South Africa.
Oh my God.
And my whole body just shrivels, because then I start to see the posts from Americans going, yeah, we know it's hectic, it's crazy over there, you need to get yourself out.
Gosh.
So you have to know that already my claws are coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I want to destroy this man.
But then you attract them.
So then I attract him and I go, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to ask him questions.
Yeah.
Now, this guy does not know that I live in South Africa at this point. He just sees Terence Mentor from a bunch of dads. 90% of the dads are from Australia, England, Canada, and America. Very few dads from South Africa. So he just assumes I'm an American. So I reply to his comment and I say, wow, I didn't realize it was that hectic. Is that really happening over there? Mm-hmm. And then he replies, yeah, it's really hectic. There are groups of black people roaming the streets looking for white people to kill.
Oh my gosh.
So then I go, oh my word, that sounds terrible. Where did you read about this? Because other people going, yeah, it's really happening. So I'm like, where did you read about this? And then he goes, no, I just know it's happening because the government has said that they must take all the land back.
Oh my gosh. And
I go, whoa, that's really hectic. But wouldn't that be weird? Isn't like 90% of the land owned by like 7% of the the 7% that is white population? And he's like, oh no, it's actually only 23% of the farm of the land that are white owned farms. I'm like, okay, well, how much of the percentage of farmland is owned by white people? And then a whole bunch of other people started to get into the conversation, saying all these things, like agreeing with them, saying, yeah, it's hectic there, white people are in danger there. And all I kept doing is asking them where they got that information from. Mm-hmm. Because I think the best way to show someone how idiotic their point of view is by asking them questions to back up
their argument.
Mm-hmm. Which is what I do with you when we argue a lot, and it drives you absolutely crazy sometimes. Yeah. Because it doesn't always work in a marriage context. But I think that's the best way to do it. If it's not someone that you are close with, like if it's a parent or a friend, and go, hey, dude, that was a bit of a weird thing you posted. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
But if it's someone that you kind of are loosely associated with, that you might think, actually, this person might be a bigot or a racist, or a chauvinist or a misogynist, just don't get mad. Don't do what I would normally do, which is to get mad and throw the book at them. The best thing to do is just to ask questions.
That is a good plan. That feels like a sensible approach. Sometimes I just choose not to engage, which is probably a bit lazy.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like self-preservation is also important.
So I got to,
right?
yeah, totally. Sometimes
when you see,
when you see it's not going to go anywhere, you have to make that judgment. So I got to a point where I was like, he said something that was really horribly racist. So I basically said, you know what? My country would be better off without you. Maybe you should immigrate. Good luck. We'll fix the country that you messed up. Cheers. And then I put a post in the group saying, guys, I was involved in an incredibly racist conversation. There was zero support. There was zero accountability. None of the moderators jumped in, because all the moderators are, of course, white Americans. So because of that, I'm leaving the group, but I wanted you to know why I'm leaving this group. And then I left before they could answer me, because I didn't want to. It was exactly that. There was no. The only possible thing they could say was that, yes, you're right, but I doubt they would have said that. Yeah. That was the only answer that I would have been happy with. Yeah. That wasn't going to happen, so I left. And I must say, it was really depressing for the rest of the day, because that was a really important group to me.
I'm sorry.
And also, I know now that there's one less person of color in that group of racist white men that could voice out. But I couldn't fight that.
Self-care.
Self-care comes first. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Do we have time for one last question? Can I do one last question that is
a quick one?
A quick one. And it's appropriate for us.
Because Mama is like, this word was cheese putting me asleep.
Yeah, I can hear from your single word answers. That's doing so well. You're a great co-host, by the way. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't have to set up anything. You literally just sit here and talk.
I know.
And you're struggling to do that. Okay, the last question is, how should I stop my dad from telling the same jokes over and over and over again?
Yeah, you cannot answer this question because this is one of your favorite pastimes, is to answer the question over and, tell us the same jokes over and over and over again.
What jokes? I was thinking about my dad. What jokes do I say over and over again?
Babe, all your jokes, especially if they're funny.
Oh my goodness, are you even kidding me?
Two fish sitting in a tank.
When was the last time I told that joke?
Enough times for me to still remember it.
Julie,
I
haven't told that joke in 10 years. I think
you do love a good dad joke, though, right?
I didn't say I don't like a good dad joke.
You love a good dad.
I love dad jokes. I just don't say this. I have a whole repertoire of jokes. I don't say the same joke over and over again to the same people.
But in honesty, my advice is you can do the eye roll, or you can just accept that if this is like your dad's one thing that annoys you, like you've got a pretty good dad, right?
Yeah,
so then you just
time
go, cool, dad, ha ha ha.
Great.
That's a great one. Or just jump. Oh, no shame. I kind of want to say jump into the
tell
punchline.
the punchline.
But like maybe that's his thing. Like, that when I tell your punchline to your joke, you get kind of upset.
Yeah, no, but this is what you do. I'll be telling the joke to people who have never heard it before, and then you tell the punchline. And the thing is, I'd be happy with that. I'd be totally fine if you told the punchline, but you aren't the best joke teller. So your timing is out, your rhythm is out. You normally say the words. You say the wrong order.
They're saying a bus.
So not only do you ruin my moment, but you ruined the whole joke.
I'm sorry.
You ruined it for everyone.
I'm sorry.
Are you though?
No, not really.
No, not really. So okay, so what is your?
I told you my advice.
Your advice is to do the eye roll.
No, I said, if this is your dad's one thing, if he's, a genuinely amazing dad, and this is one thing, then you got to decide, either grin and bear it, or, if it's driving you, batty, you could try the punchline thing, but it might upset him. I would just, walk out the room.
No, that's rude. Here's a person.
Is he telling you the same joke over and over again?
Yes.
You?
Yes.
Or is he telling it again?
So the context of the story is it's a guy from Sweden who goes for walks with his dad. His dad's in his 50s, he's in his 20s, and whenever he goes for walks with his dad tells the same jokes.
I love that joke. You told that to me last week.
But that's so condescending. Can I tell you? There's a simple solution that isn't condescending, that actually that enjoys the humor, that doesn't go, humor is illegal in this world.
What is it?
You get him a book of jokes. You give him more jokes to tell. You increase his repertoire. He's 55.
Could have Alzheimer's.
Well, he could also have Parkinson's, and he could also have one leg. We don't know that either. Maybe they cut his tongue out.
I'm saying because he keeps forgetting. Maybe he forgets he's told the joke.
No, I think he just enjoys telling jokes, and he only has a few jokes to tell.
Okay.
So then you give him a book, and then he can get new jokes that he enjoys that week.
Yeah,
that he remembers.
That's kind of sweet, like a joke for the week. Sometimes sign him up for an SMS joke for the week service.
Exactly. Don't ruin his need to tell jokes. You horrible person.
Yeah, I enjoy a good joke as much as the next person, but
no, you don't.
Yeah, not that much.
No, you're not a jokey kind of person.
No, not really.
No, but that's okay. We love you anyway.
Thank you.
Okay, it's time for us to go. Firstly, I want to say thank you to all of my Facebook fans. It's weird to say, fans, people who have liked the page, because I have reached 3,000 likes. Woohoo! Started at 1, literally. Me. And now I've got 3,000 people who are hopefully enjoying
following along on the crazy journey.
Yeah, all the stuff that we do. So I appreciate all the support, all the shares, all the likes, all the comments. It's fantastic. What I need you guys all to do now is to go onto the website and subscribe to that. What is the website?
www.AfroDaddyOnline.com.
That's correct. She got it right first time this week. Last week. And
the week before. I think I was only the first time that I stumbled.
Oh, that's true. I think I've listened to that podcast a couple of times. So that's why I'm like, she always gets it wrong. No. Because I'm replaying it over and over again.
Look at it before we start this. Commit to memory.
Okay, yeah, www.AfroDaddyOnline.com. If you can subscribe there, then every time something new happens, you'll get a little notification. You won't miss all the cool stuff that is produced, whether it's something that's written or a new video or a new podcast or some new pictures or whatever.
You're pretty good at getting stuff up.
Yeah.
Like refreshing. I think I even feature on your website now, other than this podcast, which it makes you feel kind of special.
Yes, you are on the page.
Somewhere.
In there's a little tiny photo of you in the distance.
Thank you.
And then the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that there's a great way for you to support AfroDaddy. I'm trying not to take on too much brand stuff, but to create support for fathers, I need help from you to do that. And this is the way you do it. You sign up for my Patreon page, which is you just go to patreon.com/AfroDaddy, and you can basically give $1 or $5 per thing I produce. And you can obviously put a limit on it. Say if I produce 100 things in a month, you're not paying $500 or $100. You can say I'm happy to get up to 3 or 4 or 5 or however many things a month. And that way I can start to put money together to start buying better equipment. Maybe I can afford to hire a new co-host because that.
What? What is wrong with this one?
One that is awake.
Okay, but to be fair, Mama clock ended a while ago.
A daddy clock?
And you did not provide wine for tonight.
Excuse me, you already had a glass of wine today.
True. And actually,
and you don't need wine to have a good time.
You do not. I do not drink that much wine. Actually, that sounds like I drink maybe one glass a week.
Except, and this is what we'll end on. Do you remember the song that Liam came up with 2 weeks ago?
I did not want. It was a dark time.
No, and it's not the song that Liam made has nothing to do with what we do in the home, but it sounds like it does. So I need to say that beforehand. Well, how does the song go? Wine, wine, wine.
Wine is nice.
I love wine.
Like, what?
Wine in my glass.
Yeah, wine in the glass. Wine, wine. I'm like, the kids never tasted a drop of wine.
He rarely sees us drink wine. He just, for some reason, wine.
I think because it's a one glass, we tell him don't touch it, like don't mix it.
So it's a thing.
We can't taste it, so it's playing. Oh, but it was like something. I was like, if he goes to school, starts singing wine, wine,
it was
wine.
Embarrassing. Yeah.
Mommy loves wine. I mean, I would just want to crumble in the floor.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Ask AfroDaddy. Remember to share if you're listening to this podcast. Subscribe to the podcast, and also leave a comment or leave a rating, because that helps other people to find it as well. It makes it go higher up the iTunes charts. If you're listening to this on Facebook, remember you can, of course, subscribe to this podcast on any podcast player that you use, because I've put it literally everywhere. So, for your perusal, do you want to say goodnight?
Good night.
Are you going to help me take everything down?
You've put quite a MacGyver here.
There's a lot of stuff that's up. I'm not sure if it helps, but we'll see. Listen, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.
Bye.